All right, welcome back. Let's talk about Linda Ikeji. Linda Ikeji released a statement earlier on. I guess she was talking to the Saida Bojs. There's a lot of people that have been lecturing Saida Boj. It's one of those things too. When you get a lot of attention, it's kind of hard. It's going to be very, very hard to get some of these young people to listen when when they have this type of power. So let's talk about Linda Ikeji. I'm going to read this to you real quick. Let's see here. All right, so here we go. She said, hold on one second. I'm going to read that to you. She said, "Dear young lady, I hear you." Who is Linda Ikeji? Linda Ikeji is a blogger. She's I guess you can call her a pioneer blogger in Nigeria at that level, because somebody's going to come and say, "No, but he wasn't the first blogger." I know. But she was probably the first very popular blogger who made good money from it. All right. So she since found her way to Instagram, running the blogs on Instagram these days. Let me turn this thing down a little bit. I hope the background music is not too loud. If it's too loud, let me know. All right. Good. So let me read. "Dear young lady, I hear you. If that's how you see life and want to live life, it's your choice. To each his own. As for me, I'd rather be as rich as those men who must pay me for being beautiful. Being rich is not birthright of men alone. I'd rather be their contemporary than waiting for their handouts. I know many believe it's a man's world. Maybe it is. But with fearlessness, strength, determination, and grace, women can dominate and thrive in it. So instead of waiting for men's charity," Jesus, that's shots fired. That is shots fired right there.
Sorry.
Instead of waiting for men's charity, I'd rather start early to fight for my dreams, build my businesses, break boundaries, and if God allows, shatter tables. Shattered. I want to get to a point in my life where I can get myself anything I want that money can buy without having to beg or sleep with any man to get it. Okay, we're just going to call this Linda Ikeji versus Saida Boj. Okay, it is what it is. All right. Having to beg or sleep with any man to get it. Now, she only says she will sleep with a man at 20 million naira. That's how much is that? $20,000? Am I correct? Is my numbers right, or $2,000? Is 20 million naira $2,000? Please let me know, because I think my number was off the last time. How much is 20 million naira in thousands of dollars, of US dollars? Help me. She goes and says, "I want to go into a store, see a $60,000 Cartier." I don't know what that is. I guess that's some luxury something. Cartier watch that I love and pay for it. Instead of wondering which man I'll call and plotting all the things I will say and do to get him to buy it for me. Okay, to be fair, Saida Boj didn't say all that, but around the same thing, right? Same idea. Just bill him. Okay. "I know that my greatest superpower as a woman is being financially independent, as this will give me the choice to live life on my own terms, date or marry whoever my heart wants, and walk away when it no longer serves me, instead of being forced to stick with a man I can no longer stand, because I can't stand on my own. I want, when a man comes into my life, no matter how rich he is, for his money to be a bonus and not my only source of livelihood. And as he gives to me, which I will happily collect, I will give to him in return. I want to dress as sexy as I like and enter any place without a man walking up to me and asking how much it will cost to take me home for the night, because he knows with the F.I. is." Okay, now Linda Ikeji is speaking American Ebonics. "A boss babe with her own business as rich as he is, or maybe even richer. Seriously, I'd rather, if God forbid, end up with a deadbeat, be able to give my children the absolute best life without having to be at the mercy of a scornful or bitter ex. To be clear, I don't know what she's actually responding to, but it aligns with the conversation over the past few days. With all humility, I refuse for the quality of my life to be dependent on the benevolence of men. I want the protection, power, and security that comes with having my own money. But like I said in the beginning, that's just me. To each his own. That's not just you. You're speaking this to public as a very influential person. You're absolutely trying to get this point sold. So we're gonna have to go with your actions rather than your words. So it's 20. Okay, so it's $14,000. So I was correct. So I'm close. I'm looking at the zeros. So I was correct. So 20 million naira is 40. So 2 million is 2,000. Okay, good. Thank you so much for that, Oluremi. All right. So now, especially ladies in the chat, do you agree with what she said? On a scale of 1 to 100, how much do you agree with Linda Ikeji? On a scale of 1 to 100, how much do you agree with Linda Ikeji? Help me. Linda Ikeji is a very powerful media mogul now in Nigeria. Her voice is powerful. She's highly influential, and people, young ladies that want to be better, they listen to her to a large extent. All right. Hello, Miss Beyond Braids. Welcome. Which one is $75? Oh, 70. We agree with her 75%. On a scale of 1 to 100, how much do you agree with her? If you're watching this as a replay later on, I do want you to also leave your comment in the chat, because I think there's a lot here that I want to cover real quick. I'm going to do a quick analysis of what she said, right? And then we'll take it from there. All right. But I think like everything else, like most of these people, they speak truth 80%, right? They speak truth 80%, but it's laced with poison. And I'm going to point them out. Okay, I'll point them out. I promise. All right, I'll point them out. But yeah, we'll talk about Linda Ikeji. Bumi says 90%. All right, good. All right. So 90%. We have a 75 again. Another 75. Luremi says 75. Now, are you guys willing to tell me which part of it you don't agree with, or you just want me to go ahead and do my analysis? How about this? I encourage you to tell me which part you don't agree with, so that we don't waste too much time. Okay? Let me just go ahead and analyze what she said. Okay? There's a major point of contention is the mixing of women empowerment with regards to society at large to women empowerment inside of a romantic relationship. This is where we miss it oftentimes. Okay? It's the same reason why money also becomes a big problem in relationships. And then they try to fix it from a money standpoint. You will hear things like, have your own money. That is not a solution. I'm sorry. Okay, that's a solution to you having money. It's not a solution to the relationship. There are underlying situations that allowed money to become a point of problem in your relationship. Money by itself or sex by itself is never the underlying problem in your relationship. Okay, there's underlying issues that made those things become issues for your relationship. Okay, now once those things become issues in your relationship, it becomes a vicious cycle. They feed each other, right? Lack of sex makes you cranky, and then you can't stand them, and then you can't stand them become triggers, and then circles back to lack of more sex, It's like a vicious cycle. Same thing with money, right? If your relationship is trash, and then somebody goes broke, like especially if the man goes broke, yeah, he's even if you don't trigger him, he's going to start feeling less than, right? He's going to question, like, is it because I'm broke right now? And that's going to be like, what do you mean? I've been here all along. And then it's a trigger, and then it becomes, it's a vicious cycle. It becomes a vicious cycle. Yes, money and sex can help you create that vicious cycle, right? But they are not the underlying issues. And where we often go wrong is exactly what she just did. So let me analyze. She said, dear young lady, I hear you. If that's how you see life and want to live life, it's your choice. To each his own. As for me, I'd rather be as rich. Mixing it up with romantic relationship, she literally committed the same thing that Saida Boj was doing. She committed the same offense. Okay? As much as she's trying to push against that rhetoric, right? Now, there's a way that she can empower women to not depend on men for money, because no one should be depending on men for money, right? But then she's going in the direction of rich. That's when the scriptures talks about the love of money is the root of all evil, right? You're getting in that direction. Now we're not talking about just having your own money. We're talking about you want to be rich. Not only do you want to be rich, what did she say? She said, I'd rather be as rich as those men. It's a competition with those men. If we're talking about men in the society, and we're not talking about your romantic relationship, absolutely. If you can, by all means. But we're mixing it up with men that you might potentially date. There's a problem there, okay? Be as rich as those men who must pay me for being beautiful. Okay, so now she's pushing back against paying you for being beautiful, right? So let's give her the 90, okay? But there's 10% poison there, okay? There's a 10% poison there. There's somebody that's listening to that who think all I have to do is get rich and then I will have good relationship. Now, she did make a point later on that I will address that will push against me, so I'll get there. Hold on. Being rich is not the birthright of men alone. I'd rather be their contemporary than waiting for their handout. So most men are actually not going to be rich. All right. So I don't know. Is that newsflash? Most men, like non-deadbeat men, are actually never going to be rich. All right. Okay. Most men are going to end up almost below middle class, meaning they can feed themselves, they can take care of a family, but no, they're not going to be riding around, not even in a Range Rover. That's the reality, anywhere in the world. Okay, so again, this is not to say she's wrong, it's just to highlight some things here when it comes to reality. I'd rather be their contemporary than waiting for their handout. Okay, because Saida Boj was essentially asking for handouts. Okay, so I get that. I know many believe it's a man's world. Maybe it is, but with fearlessness, strength, determination, grace, women can dominate and thrive in it. That's very, very true. Okay, but that same sentence, we can flip it to human beings can, with determination, fearlessness, strength, they can win, they can dominate and thrive in whatever they do. So I can't even push against that. But honestly, that's true for everybody. Possibilities are limitless. The sky, beyond the sky is a limit, right? So instead of waiting for men's charity, again, she's using that to argue against a person who is asking for charity from men. There are two different arguments, okay? There are two different arguments, which makes it almost, how do I say this? Like, okay, she's basically putting money on the pedestal. Saida Boj was putting money on the pedestal. Guess what Linda Ikeji was doing? Putting money on that pedestal. Money will always, it's a currency to fall off that pedestal. I'm sorry. Okay. So instead of waiting for men's charity, I'd rather start early to fight for my dreams, build my businesses, break boundaries, and if God allows, shatter tables. All right. I want to get to a point in my life where I can get myself anything I want that money can buy without having to beg or sleep with any man to get it. There's a spectrum in all of this, right? There's a spectrum in all of this, okay? Let's keep going. I want to go into a store to see a $60,000 Cartier watch that I love and pay for it. Okay. Good for her. Most people are not going to be rich. She can probably buy a $60,000 Cartier watch, right? I might be butchering that pronunciation, by the way. Instead of wondering which man I'll call and plotting all the things I will say and do to get him to buy it for me. Okay. I know that my greatest superpower as a woman is being financially independent. I struggle with that. Your greatest power is being financially independent. Damn. I don't want to seem like I'm nitpicking her words, because I think the message was quite empowering. Okay, a young lady looking at this and like, yeah, I'm gonna be that Ikeji. I'm gonna win too. I get it, you know. But if we go by the consistency of the message thus far, this is worshiping money. Okay, even in business, worshiping money, you're probably not gonna grow as fast as you could go if you don't put value above money. Money follows value, not the other way around. So how can your greatest superpower be financially independent? I don't know. Because even men that were supposed to chase money, chase your bag, make sure you have your bag, that financial independence cannot be your greatest superpower. No. I don't know. Let me keep thinking about that. That statement is wrong outright. Let's just call that is. But I'm trying to see what would be a better thing or skill set or something that can replace financial independence that will be a superpower of a woman, right? With respect to dating men, with respect to dating and relationship, right? Not just in life, right? All right, let's keep going. As this will give me the choice to live life on my own terms. Okay. Sounds like a motivational speech. I will give it 100% for motivational speech. Absolutely. But you know, these are the reasons why a lot of people are pushing against people like what's his name? The guy with the pastor in Houston, Lakewood Church. Pastor, what's his name? People feel like he's too motivational. They're not getting the real, right? I forgot his name now. I read his stuff every day. It's a daily guide. But Lakewood Church, Joel Osteen, right? That's the reason why I feel like it's all fluff, motivational, right? I'll give her 100% on motivational. Okay. So that means someone like Saida Boj is going to be like, I beg. Saida Boj will probably point out how she's wrong, but she didn't mention, she's smart enough to not mention her name. So that's wise. She said it's financial independence so that she'll be able to live life on her own terms and date or marry whoever my heart wants and walk away when it no longer serves me. So the reason to her security, her insurance against terrible relationship is money. You see where I'm getting at with this? Thank you, Jerry. I wasn't looking at the chat. Yes, Joel Osteen. Thank you. Exactly. You can't go from one extreme to the other. Will it work? Thank you. That's what I've been trying to say. It's too extreme of the same exact thing. They become almost equivalent. They cancel each other out, meaning nothing. You didn't really help the situation. All right. That's where she's going. That's where she's heading at. She's making the point now. Let me reread that again to you. I know that my greatest superpower as a woman is being financially independent. As this is the reason. This is what I should have waited for. See, I was too much in a hurry. As this will give me the choice to live life on my own terms, date or marry whoever my heart wants, and walk away when it no longer serves me. So insurance, right? Living life on your own terms does not necessarily require you to be rich. It's not even necessarily. Does not require you to be rich. Okay? Financial independence, as she's mentioning it here, she's using it interchangeably as rich. Financial independence does not mean you are rich either. You don't have to be rich to be financially independent. You just have to be able to take care of, you just have to have enough resources coming in to take care of your livelihood. And then a little bit extra. That's financial independence. right? But she's using it as rich, okay? And guess what? Impressionable mind, young girls will read it as rich, okay? And then they might have lost a couple of decades before they realize that that's not necessarily the same thing as rich. We go all learn the hard way. So then she says, date and marry whoever my heart wants and walk away. You can do all of that without being rich, okay? Especially if your superpower as a woman is not financial independence, right? Walk away when it no longer serves me. You should be able to walk away when it no longer serves you without being rich. The only reason why you're not able to walk away when it no longer serves you has nothing to do with money. I know it looks like money, and a lot of people will say money makes it easier. That's not true. There are a lot of rich people that can't walk away. Self-esteem is the issue. Self-esteem. Lack of self-respect will make you stay in a funky situation when it no longer serves you, even when you're rich. Am I lying? Don't act like I'm lying here, okay? That makes sense to you. Don't act like it doesn't make sense to you. Anyway, instead of being forced to stick with the man I can no longer stand because I can't stand on my own. All right, is money a factor? Yes. Is it a major factor? No, it is not. Your mindset is a major factor. Your mindset is the major factor here. I want when a man comes into my life, no matter how rich he is, for his money to be a bonus and not my only source of livelihood. Okay, again, we don't have to say rich. When you say rich, the impressionable minds are reading, they want to be with Davido. They want to hang out to the backstage when they go to a concert. And there's a ton, most young people are like that. Okay, even young men want to hang out in the backstage with Davido at the concert. When the more matured you are, you just want to watch a nice concert, have a nice dinner with your girl and go home. The younger you are, potentially, you might want to sneak in the backstage so you can take selfie, right? Crazy stuff, right? Right? So again, I'm just using Davido as an example, but I'm talking about the value we place on money, right? Diminishes with time for obvious reasons. Most people are not going to get rich. Most people will find other ways to value life, the actual value in life, beyond money and sex or anything aesthetic in nature. And as he gives to me, which I will happily collect, I will give to him in return. I want to dress as sexy as I like and enter any place without a man walking up to me and asking how much it will cost to take me home for the night because he knows who the FI is. Okay, that's Nigeria. She's talking about Nigeria market. Men will walk up to you in a club and ask you how much it is because women are walking up to people and say, hey, you want to take me home tonight? That happens in Nigeria clubs. You don't have to go to a strip club for that to happen. All right. A boss babe with her own business as rich as he is, or maybe even richer. This message just lays with money. There's no way it can be positive. I'm sorry. Seriously, I'd rather, if God forbid, I end up with a deadbeat. Imagine. And then we wonder why a lot of, well-off, good-looking girls, older girls are ending up with baby daddies that they consider a deadbeat because they've concluded that's how it's gonna be. That's just what it is. Maybe off of their own results. I don't want to go into personal stuff with Linda Ikeji, but I can say as simple as our public life actually reflects that. Be able to give my children the absolute best life without having to be at the mercy of a scornful or bitter ex. Well, if you first of all put money back down where it belongs and take it off of that pedestal, that mindset that will allow you to do that is probably your best chance of giving your children the absolute best life, or chances of having the absolute best life. They can have money, but they need to see money as exactly what it is, a tool, currency. Right? Money cannot make you happy. Never mind, I know all the cute stuff you say. You can cry in a limousine on the internet. That's internet talk. Oh, it's real talk, by the way. Internet social media talk is real talk as well. But these are the real talk that are influencing the same results that you're all getting right now, that majority of people agree that is just nasty. The dating pool is a cesspool, right? Yeah. I didn't say that. Y'all told me that. Because I've been out of the game for a minute, right? With all humility, I refuse for the quality of my life to be dependent on the benevolence of men. All right. So, like I keep telling you, what you need to do is work on yourself. Okay? Because the reality is that you will be interdependent on other human beings. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. You will be interdependent. We're social beings. We want to connect emotionally in every respect. Even when you have money, you want to have people to spend it with. So all this independence, they fall on their face in real life. Okay, never mind what it looks like on those perfect pictures on social media, on Instagram, well laid out Instagram page. All the pictures are laid out, everything is perfect. Never mind all that. In real life, so what you need to learn how to do is how to attract good and healthy relationships with or without being rich. I want the protection, power, and security that comes with having my own money. But like I said in the beginning, that's just me, to each his own. That's cute, but you were trying to sell this idea. Unfortunately, in real life, most people will end up in the potter with these ideas. Sorry. Yeah. So now, with all of that being said, do you still stay at 75%, 90%? Uwa says, I agree with you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that you get where I'm coming from, because I'm not making her wrong, but it's like if she was selling an MLM, internet, some kind of get rich quick stuff, it will work. But life is not about getting rich or getting anything quick. So you have to work on yourself, and that's patience. That takes work. But it's worthwhile, because it's lasting solution you create. It sticks because you did the work. But anything fluffy, that picture we just saw right there, will fall flat on its face.